Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
I'm gonna pull it up on the phone. All right. This is such an amazing time, and we are so excited to be here with you today. So join my Ebony and Ivory partner as we discuss spiritual growth. So if you're on here, say hello and tell us where you are watching from, and hit hashtag replay once you're watching the replay.
Hello, hello, hello.
If you're on here, say hello. All right. Okay. I turn off all the devices. You got to turn off Facebook on whatever your device is because it'll feed that.
Yeah, I heard it on my phone.
Yeah, I just turned the sound off on the phone. All right. So I'm super excited to be here. And I know that Megan is truly excited as well.
Yes, I am. Always excited to talk about spiritual health and healing and how beautiful it is.
Yes.
When you truly surrender and when you truly, awareness has been a huge part of my life this week, and just acknowledging that awareness. I saw an amazing post on Instagram about how that, you're in the dark, and when you don't have light, you don't have free will.
Yes.
And, the awareness is light. And that, once you acknowledge the light and the awareness of it, just how much it changed. And I've just reflected so much on that this week on my own spiritual journey and my own healing. And it's beautiful to me,
Yes. So that surrender process.
Okay. It is. It's that surrender. And, it's people think that, once you surrender once, like that's done.
Can we just laugh?
No, there's more aspects of yourself that you continue to be shown once you have that desire, because that is the biggest key, is desire. When you're sitting there and like you're contemplating, like you hate life, like you're sitting there and you just can't stand any of the circumstances that you're in, you have to have the desire. You have to have that passion, but you can't just have that desire. Say, okay, I desire. Well, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
What are you going to do? Because as we said last week, there ain't anyone coming to save you. As much as we all want, that person to come save you, you are your savior. You are the person. You have to step outside that triangle. I refer a lot back to psychology things, but the Kaplan triangle. That was a big eye opener for myself when someone first showed that to me, and, analyzing that on how in my dysfunctional, family dynamic, how did I play those parts? How did I constantly play the victim, the rescuer, the perpetrator, and how you live on eggshells because you never know which role you're going to be playing.
Yes.
Well, I had that desire. I was like, I'm not gonna be a part of this. So what did I have to do? I had to surrender. Step outside the box. Well, first I had to desire and be like, this ain't it. I'm worth more. I deserve more. But how am I gonna get that? Exactly.
It's like it's almost really like a double-edged sword if you think about it.
Completely.
You've got that surrender, which is, because the shadows show up all the time, just like I was sharing with you, before we came on, that, I realized, it just hit me that, I need to, release my job, just every day, just release it, send it back, just like if we are in a session with someone, we send them their energy back and we take ours back. Mm-hmm. And so it just like flowed to me that is what I need to do with my job, because mm-hmm. it was just irritable and stressing my ass out. And so I was like, what do I need to do for this? And it just showed up for me, and I know that is a certain type of shadow as well, that shows up for you, because when you hold on to something so tight, even if you don't realize it, because many times we don't realize we holding on to that shit like that. We don't realize our hand is totally closed.
No. And another analogy this week, I'd never seen the movie. Have you ever seen the movie Avatar?
Yes. Okay. I'm waiting for the next one.
I never saw Avatar.
So good.
I've now seen it. I've now seen it because this past week, with quite a few people I've spoken to, Avatar became a thing all of a sudden mm-hmm. this week. And so Duran was like, you have to freaking watch it. He was like, it would just fit with every aspect of your life right now. And but there's a cartoon also of Avatar onto it. And we were watching kind of a scene. He showed a scene of it, and you really have to look at one of the villains. I don't know the whole scene of what it was, but they were coming to kill one of the villains, and he closed his eyes down. He has someone on his shoulders, I don't know who it is, who they want, obviously, and he mm-hmm. was he closed down his eyes and he was like, let go of your earthly tether, and he stepped off the cliff.
Oh, that's the journey.
And he flew. And then the people that were on the cliff that were trying to kill this guy were like, did that guy just fly? And the question is what is your earthly tether? What is keeping you locked down? What is holding you back? What is that dark shadow, those wounds? What is whatever it is, that earthly chains that are keeping you tethered? Yes. From being that light, being that shine, being who you are supposed to be.
Yes. And isn't that the journey?
It is. It's the journey.
it's like let it go, because my favorite thing is the Frozen thing. Let it go. Let it go.
Never seen that either.
Girl. Oh my God. And you got kids.
I have boys though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Might be different. Oh, girl, I watched that. I didn't even have any kids at home.
Period that I couldn't sit in my life of so unhappy and having to constantly be so busy. Yes. Sitting down to watch a movie was not peaceful to me. It was constantly, because I was always on eggshells. It was always I had to be doing something because I didn't want to feel the emotions. I didn't want to sit there and be comfortable in my skin, because guess what? My brain, my ego would mm-hmm. start running stuff through my head. And the fact of the matter is I didn't want to face the truth. I didn't want to face any of that stuff. So I just kept myself going. So yeah, there was a huge list of movies for 10 years that I have never seen, because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I couldn't sit there.
Wow. And you think about that, it's because for me, I think about growing up, it's my mom was one of these people that did not want you just to sit and watch TV. So if you were watching TV, you were also ironing, or you were folding clothes, or you were washing dishes, or you were doing something. You were always doing something. She was like, that boob tube, it's just gonna fry your brain and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I understand that.
So if you were sitting there watching TV, you were getting smacked, you were getting hit, you were getting flicked, you were being cussed at. We were supposed to sit there on our hands and make it look like we were, never there. So I was never home. I was always outside. I was always it was never safe to be in my home.
Wow. So in your spiritual awakening, I know that was something that you dealt with, your root chakra and the safety, aspect of it, because, when you don't feel safe in your body, what do you do typically? You leave it, right?
Yeah. And that's what I did. I've never, honestly, and even in my healing journey in the beginning part of it, I still didn't, but now it's that safety and that security are now finally mine. And like how I know, like some people are always like, well, how do you know it's working? Like, how do you know?
Right.
Because guess what? I can sit there and I can meditate for 45 minutes and be completely okay in my
But
skin.
you said, I can do this.
So what comes to my head, what comes to my mind, I'm completely okay with it. I can sit there quietly, you know. People laugh, like I barely like Netflix, and I don't watch TV. Like, you know, like I'm always educating myself, or, you know, doing something, or journaling, or, you know, something comes up or someone triggers me, or something like that. And I self-reflect now, where before I never did it. You know, it was.
Well, you didn't want to face it though, right?
No, because I was in the dark. You know, I had a person one time, very influential in my healing journey. Very, 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 said a lot of things to me, which stuck with me. Now, kind of shame on this person could have made it easier. Like I could have had my savior type person, but they let me weather the storm on my own. You know, they fed me some stuff, which really kind of sunk. But, you know, they made a comment to me on one time. I was talking about something, telling them about something, and they just flat out were like, I can't believe you're that naive.
What?
And it just was like.
But does that help you when you think about the type of healer that you desire to be? Doesn't that help you? Because you see that, you have that experience, and you say, no, I never want anybody to feel that way.
Never. But I was so in the dark. And like the sad part about this is like I was 38. You know,
that's okay. It doesn't matter.
It was completely fine. But like, you know,
I was in my 40s.
Like I'm telling them stuff though, and like they're honestly, and you know, it's kind of shameful if like you really think about society. Like, you know, like growing up, like all my neighbors knew what the hell was going on in my house, but they, you know, they were scared to death of my father. You know,
of course.
My father was 6'5", 300 pounds, you know,
oh Jesus,
military guy, you know, walk around, you know, he could look at you and intimidate you and like just see like through you. Like he was like, everyone is like, God, your father was scary as hell. And so they wonder why I'm like crazy on some aspects and stuff, because I got to the point, like, I just expected, like, I knew I was his punching bag. I wasn't scared of it though. Like, that's the one thing, like, I've never been like scared of my father because of the fact that it was just there, you know, it was what you expected. So there's a difference in that fear of, you know, I just knew.
Well, it's just like an abused woman.
Yeah.
You know, if you're used to getting your ass beat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's just what you know, and you think that's normal, and you probably feel like maybe that's what other women deal with or whatever. You know what I mean? And so you don't, you know,
really hit me because like I'm telling them like some stuff, and they're like, I just can't believe like you're naive, and I'm like, naive about what? Like this is my normal. You know, no one stepped in and was like. Megan, you know, because of the fact that when you're in those type of dysfunctional relationships and you grow up in that dysfunctional relationship, well, what type of friends do you think I attracted?
Exactly.
What type of people do you think were in my circle? And so it was all normal, this whole dysfunctional. We had all different aspects of it all. Of sitting there. And so like, yeah, I'm telling this person who didn't grow up in the same type of environment, you know, they actually grew up with 2 parents as therapists. But you know, and then telling me, oh, you're naive. Well, naive about what? Like, educate me. But they didn't.
Look, help me. I'm asking for help.
And that's what I really was. And they wouldn't give it to me, but they did. You know, they still showed me love. And that's like one of the things that they at least fed me. It was that mustard seed, you know, like people of planting that tree. You got to have that desire of that, like that really hit me. That word naive, like I'm not naive. Like,
you're like, what?
I think I'm pretty damn intelligent, but I was in the dark because again, this was all my normal. And so some of the things that this person said to me, like for the first time, I sat down and I was just like,
So for the first time, you began to unpack that stuff.
Started to unpack it.
Because that's the journey. It's like, once you realize, because for me, I realized that I repressed so much of my childhood. A lot of it.
I repressed all the emotions, not the memories. The memories were too much. I mean,
I repressed the memories, everything. I mean, there's like I remember my childhood sketchily. Like I remember highlights. There are highlights that I remember and things, and and I feel like as I've been on this journey, I feel like that I did that because if it was something that I didn't want to see, then I just pushed it down. I said, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to push it down. And I did.
Some ways I didn't have time to.
Because
of the fact that it was every day,
well, you had a survival
day. It was a new day, and it was a new day of what the hell was going to happen,
So it's like you stayed in survival mode.
Complete survival mode. I never knew, what was coming at me. The only piece that, like, when I look back at my childhood, with Sarah, we had to, like, write out the codex type thing. I wrote out 20 pages, girl. 20 pages of abuse. Ooh, different situations, different scenarios, different, things. And the sad part about it, that's not even all of it. And that's not even the stuff that I witnessed. And, it's like more stuff comes back, where it's like, I look back on my childhood and, like, I don't have a single, well, I shouldn't say that. I have happy memories, but those happy memories are when my parents weren't there, when my family wasn't there. Like, and it's funny because, in, like, especially like narcissistic, my parents, my grandparents as a child, like, that was the only time, like, I was safe, was with my father's parents. Like, I would go spend time with them, Deep Creek Lake. They had a lake house up there, and I would go up and spend, the summers up there with them. And, I got treated like a princess. I had all those mother-daughter moments, with my grandmother. And, the bad part about it is that my parents started, because my siblings didn't have, well, my brother did, my sister did not have that relationship with them. My brother and I did. So what did my parents start to do? My parents started to then turn on these parents and, well, they treat me this way, you shouldn't like them. And, started, and I'm a kid just sitting here like, I just want to go swimming, and I just want to ride on the boat. Like, can I just,
and I want to go see my grandparents where it's safe and I'm in love.
Yeah. And, my one aunt and stuff like that, like, I have great memories of, like, cooking with her. I make a killer lasagna because of her and stuff like that, so it's like I have those, but then even they saw happiness in me. And
they so tried to squelch it
and destroy it. And they
eventually, so they were poisoned.
Yeah. So it was like that word naive just kept of, like, I wasn't responsible in some ways, but I was, because what was I allowing my mind to be fed?
Yes. Yeah. And see, that's a big part of it. Even as we do this journey, it's like, what am I allowing into my dome? What am I allowing into, even not even that, into my heart?
Yeah.
Because as you go on this journey, you realize that, you don't get answers from your brain, you get it from your heart.
Yeah. But when you grow up in an abusive environment, you can't trust your body. Your brain it's in, fight, flight.
It's in fight or flight mode.
And,
it's trying to survive.
My PTSD, my complex PTSD is like, I'm a freeze and a fawn, because it was easier to give in for me than to try to fight.
Gotcha.
That at least created some peace. So what also is then I taught how to do? People please.
You just taught how to live abused. Oh, this has been a powerful discussion, girl. Because I mean, just that part is like, I'm sure it's going to help so many people, because we all go through that. And especially people that, have been in your situation where you were just born. Woo! It almost sounds like, you think about it, it's like you might have been better off in foster care.
I would have. Girl, do you not know how many times we tried that? We tried, But, and that even goes into, like mother wound. And I don't know if, like, I mentioned this, but, like, my mother wound got activated, like, when I was 4, because of the fact that my older brother, he's 2.5 years older than me. Now, I have nothing to do with anyone in my family, because, like, unfortunately, my brother became a narcissist, and my sisters just both my parents combined. So like, I've had nothing to do with my family for 4 years. And it was the greatest decision I could have ever made for myself, is to eliminate that, to completely cut that out. But
because you're a solitaire
4 years old.
family.
Do what?
I said you were a solitaire. That's why.
Yeah.
God had to pull you out.
He had to, for my sanity, for my peace of mind, for my children. I'm the generation curse breaker.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I'm like, yep, you're the chain breaker. And the thing is he had to do it not only for you and your family, but also for the people that you were put here to help.
Yeah.
Because there's people that you are designed to help. Yeah. That's why you're here.
Well, people ask me all the time, like when it comes to, and it's funny because my mom tried to guilt me onto this, like when I was like, look, I want nothing to do with you all. And it was, well, your kids aren't going to know their grandparents, and people tell me all that time of like that. Good. And I'm like, what exactly aren't my kids learning? Like what aren't my kids onto that? Are we teaching them that their nasty and disgusting behavior is acceptable just because that's their grandparents, that they are supposed to? And that's what's wrong with society in a whole, is that we don't stop this and we just accept it just because of the fact that it's family, just because it's this person or that person.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well, so, okay. So now we go play a role. We go act this way while we're around this person because we don't want to set them off. We don't want their true colors to come out.
Yeah.
And so we constantly are teaching kids to play these roles. Okay, well, you have to act this way around this person. Oh, you have to act this way. Well, and then we wonder why kids don't know who the hell they are.
Girl, that part, it's like, no, because I know one thing we decided, my husband and I were like, if they're toxic, then they got to fucking go and we don't care who they are.
And that's where I was like one of the last times, like my mom actually like tried, she was like, well, let's meet up for dinner. We'll go out. And I was like, no. She was like, well, your father won't act how he does out in public. Yes, he does. But so we're supposed to sit there knowing like he wants to have a complete outburst. So you think that dinner is comfortable? You think that dinner is,
will you even be able to eat?
Right. Because he's gonna be staring down. And like that just so clicked with me of just like, no, I am not teaching my kids that this is how we are going to act. My kids are amazing and beautiful how they are. They are what their dreams are, and they're going to be them.
Yeah. And they don't need that in their life.
They don't need it.
They don't need it. And that's the thing we have to realize. I don't know, for my sake, I feel like we just have to be comfortable with that. Yeah. Because I came to that place with someone in my life, I have to say, like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of chasing. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. If you don't decide to reach out to me, because I have reached out to you consistently and you have not returned, you have not responded, then it's okay with me. I'm all right with that. Live your life.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be over here, like a lot of people that are pining about, family relationships and all that stuff. You know what I say? God has blessed me with really good friends. Yeah. Not a lot, few good little friends. I include you, and I thank God for that, and that's how it is. I have
the desire too, that it does go into, because, that is something. And, we haven't talked a lot about like setting those intentions.
Yes.
As I was cutting those people out, my life did. I mean, it became, I had so many things, again, like we've talked about that tower, but like I became aware of my whole surroundings of everyone. Yes. And that it did just become me, because I didn't want any of that in me anymore. I didn't want any of that around me. And so I set that intention and I asked God, universe, spirit, however you want to refer to them, to put those healthy keywords, and you have to set that intention, be clear, of putting those healthy, divine people in my life.
Yes.
Give me my soul tribe. Give me those people who are going to allow me to shine, people who I don't have to dim my light around, people who I can have these type of conversations with and not be like, you're crazy,
right.
When you start talking about, astrology or this or your wounds and all that, and
human design,
But, and now I have, and no, I don't have a lot of like close friends. I don't have a lot of people who I go out and, do things with. But you know what's great about that? for the first time in my life, I'm good with that because I'm comfortable in my own skin.
Yes. And that's to me, that's the gift in the garbage.
It is.
It's like, because I feel the same way. It's like, oh my God, because I think I shared with you, I said I had a friend that I had where you live for like 20 years almost. And because we just were going in different directions, and it was time, and I say that it had run its course. Of course, I thought, because I'm a Scorpio like you, and we love hard and all this. And I thought, okay, well, this girl, she's been in my corner all this time. We've helped each other through our divorces, with our kids and all kinds of stuff. I said, and she'll be there with me. No, not. And I'm okay with it. It hurt, of course.
That way. And I got the whole, we've been friends for 25 years and stuff. And sadly, you don't know anything going on in my life, but I still love you. And when I try to talk to you about this type of stuff like that, it's, and it's also kind of funny. It's go get stuff for depression. Go get stuff, honey. I'm not depressed.
Look, I'm good.
like I'm the happiest I have ever been in my life. Like I actually, for once in my life, know what happiness is. Like I walk around with a smile constantly on my face, and it's genuine. It's not fake. I wake up like Nikki posted something yesterday about gratitude, of like, what are you gratitude for? And I was like, girl, this ain't long enough, because like last night, actually, before I went to bed, of just of my own spiritual journey. And I can't stress enough, anyone who is listening, journal. I used to hate writing. I was
gonna say, I was looking around because I have about 3. And I was just telling my husband, I said,
I got 2 right here on different things.
I was just telling my husband, I said, when I go to the Dollar Tree, I said, I need to pick up a few more. Well, the $1.25 tree. I said, when I go to the $1.25 tree, I was like, I need to pick up a few more notebooks. He goes, well, don't you already have like 25?
And that's the way, like next to my bed, like I have massive, but like I wrote 3 pages because I was reflecting on my growth, on things. And, and it's beautiful to see there's like a lot of things that like the old Megan, would have crushed me on, honestly, some of the things. And now like I'm so grateful for them happening.
Yes.
But like I wrote 3 pages out of situations, people, I'm thankful for them in my life. I'm thankful they're not in my life. I'm thankful for this, but like I wrote 3 pages last night of just in reflection of what I'm thankful for. Because gratitude comes so much. You have to, there's, I used to say there's a silver lining in everything. And then one of my friends was like, girl, it's gold. And it is, it's
I love it.
It's turning that pain and sorrow into treasure gold.
Yes. It's the difference between, like, people always say it is what it is. And I say, no, it ain't, it is what it is. It is what you make it.
I don't know. I kind of actually disagree with that. I think
what you create.
I think there is a lot of power behind saying it is what it is. And have you ever heard of the art of living?
Yeah, but the thing is that keeps you stuck in that space, because you can actually create what you want.
Yes, but when it comes to someone else's situation, it is what it is.
Well, what it is to them, yeah. That's what you say. You say you can actually open it up if that's what you say. Because I know how people say, well, it is what it is. But no, I mean, if you decide and you set that intention and you say, no. Because here's the thing. You allow people free will in your life. They don't get that shit in mine.
Well, that's a great perspective on it too.
When I made that, I was like, no, you don't know. No, you're not allowed free will here. Not here in my awareness. Now you can do what you want to do out there and whatever, but what I need is, here, and this is how I look at it. And that's what I decided, and I laughed. I said, I decided, you know what I mean? And that's the other thing on this journey. Yeah. When you decide, I decide, you decide, they decide, everybody decides, then you can move forward and you can just do what you need to do. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we think that we need permission We think we need permission to change. We think we need permission to do things. We think
outside validation.
That's it. But we don't need that shit. You just need to make the damn decision and do it.
Yeah.
Set the intention, make the decision, however the hell you want to look at it, but do that.
Yeah. But
You
there's
know, and
peace in, that statement though, because of the fact that that's cutting, and that's how I looked at it, is
Right.
that, because of the fact that it was, I'm not allowing you, which goes exactly into what you're saying. I'm not allowing you to have that free will into. So it is what it is, but you go there.
Yep.
I'm gonna go be me. I'm gonna go do me.
Right.
And I'm gonna be happy with that. But so there, to me, in the beginning of my journey, that statement actually gave me a lot of strength.
Oh, that's awesome then.
It gave me a lot of strength.
So
it gave me a lot of power.
You internalized it for where you were at that time.
Yep.
Yeah. See, that's
I can't
cool.
change the past.
No, you can't.
You can sit there. It is what it was.
Yeah.
It is what it was. But I have.
But what you gonna do with it?
What am I gonna do?
Are you gonna learn from it? You gonna run from it? Right.
And but that is so true too, because I used to have some great running shoes. I used to run. I never learned the lessons from it. I just wished it would go away. I just wished, onto it. Well, sometimes wishing upon a star ain't gonna happen. And and that was my tower moment, is that those running shoes had to be put up. I mean, if I wanted true change, if I wanted true peace,
you gotta face it.
I had to face it. And for the first time, that truth. And it's kind of funny because I used to always get mad because I always, like with my family and stuff, they're just liars. They're narcissists, and stuff like that.
And that's just what they do.
It's what they do. They just lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. And it's so funny because like my kid my one son, he gets kind of in trouble a lot because he speaks his mind. And I'll be like, yeah, don't. And
I wonder where he got that from.
I know. And when he turns back on me, you say to tell the truth. And I'm like,
you told me, Mom.
I do tell you that. But, for the longest time, like I just kept telling people, it was like, I want the truth. Like, just tell me the freaking truth. But the fact of the matter is that the truth was right in front of my face.
Yeah.
Time, but I had the blinders, my ego.
I was gonna say, many times the truth is right there, but you can't see it.
You're blinded.
What was that song? Blinded by the light.
Or the darkness,
Right.
Now I'm blinded by the light because now it's like, oh shit, what the hell? And now I don't want to see it. Now, because I've lived naively, for 38 years, my life. And now it's like, well, now shit, I don't want to see it, but I had to, you have to face the music,
I think what we were talking about, I think is, and I don't know if this is a term or whatever, but I made it. I mean, I decided, but the Cinderella effect. So many of us have that. We think, okay, the prince is going to come save us, or what's that other one that laid in the bed, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
We think that somebody's going to come save us. The prince is going to come and get us and wake us up and all this shit. And then the other one's going to come and kiss us. And then we're good and everything's all good. And, and we have the birds and shit are doing the laundry and, and sewing and all this stuff.
There's a quote about that. What Walt Disney, someone said actually that Monday in a live that I was in on Monday on Disney, but and it hit so much. And so it's kind of funny, synchronies and divine timing. So right? It's hilarious that you bring that up, and now I'm like mad at myself that I can't remember the quote. But you know what, Tammy, at the same time though, you can have that fairy tale.
Yeah, that's the thing. But you have to allow it in it, and you also have to get yourself in the place where you can receive it.
Well, when you're balanced. Like exactly. For everyone here who is struggling for the relationships, like I've always said, like I've had the Cinderella curse on because of the fact that it's like I work so hard to do something, and then it's like I have the ugly stepsisters who, when she's getting dressed and she goes around the house, finds everything,
and they're snatching off her gown.
Yeah. Like that's how I've like felt like my whole life, like cursed in many ways of like that, of because I was naive to my surroundings. But then
I'm going to use that word.
I'm going to use it because it so fits. And it is a derogatory, because you're ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality of it. And I was ignorant for years because I never.
Now, naivety doesn't really have a negative connotation. It just says that
you're gullible.
Yeah, I was going to say like you live in the clouds kind of thing.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? My father used to tell me that all the time too.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing.
It kept me safe.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I've lived there too, and I know, and it's like, okay, yeah, I was all right when I was there. Yeah. You know why? I still keep asking, why do I have to be here? Because I know that this is not where I'm from. I'm just not from here.
Yeah.
Because people are too weird, and it's just too much.
Crazy.
People are crazy, and it's like, there's no way that I can be from here. I'm like, I know I must have been from Lemuria or one of those other places or someplace, but fucking not here.
But onto that, that fairy tale of it. I was watching another, video, because I mean, that's what we do. We sit around. I mean, it's a spiritual journey of every day, and there's always something,
yes.
It's what you feed your mind with.
Yes.
But someone was talking about how that, like for people who are struggling in relationships, or, why do you constantly attract this type of man? Well, you need to learn and understand the feminine and the masculine energies, which we all have. Yes. I attracted so many people of, negative because I was in my masculine. It was something I could control. I was there all the time, and not in touch with my feminine with it, but I had that mother wound. So then I attracted these narcissists who, their mother wound was completely activated, and then it came in, and, it was just a messed up whole dynamic onto it. But once you, as a female, once you learn how to balance both of those relationships, you will attract that Prince Charming. You will attract that man of your dreams. It will. Yeah, you will.
I did.
Yeah,
because I did this. I did the work, and I also realized that I wasn't going to choose the same man.
Yeah,
because I had already chosen this, this one, and it wasn't good. And then I realized that, oh my God, I'm looking at the same man. Not the same man, but the same energy of the same man.
The same energy, the same, like you're repeating because you haven't learned the lesson.
Right. And I said, no, not doing that again. Not never. I was like, I desire to be happy.
Yeah.
And I desire a man that loves me and cares for me and supports me in the ways that I need.
Yeah.
But those are some things that I put out there. And, and then I decided, I drew the line, and I said, I'm just not accepting any less. I'm not available for nothing else. And that's kind of where I was. And it was funny because I dated this guy after I was, between my marriages, and he was like, he said, you a little, what did he call me? Something like highfalutin or some shit like that. It was down there where you are. And I said, what does that even mean?
You high on yourself.
I said, well, that's what I'm supposed to be. Yeah. You got a problem with it, then you're not my man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm spoiled, and I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's your job.
Yeah. And people need to realize, any women here listening, on your divine masculine, it is not just, of them providing for you on materialistic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What are they providing in your safety? What are they providing in your mental health? What are they providing? Where is that partnership?
Right. The support all the way around.
And then how are you on it? Because, the masculine is supposed to be that guy. And then us women, if we're, healthy, we have that schedule, we have those type of things. But then, we are the foo-foo, type. We're the planners, we're the creative. We have that sexual energy within, our sacral, and it's learning how to, and not sexual, being intimate onto that level, but it's that being that creative into that. Yes. We're the ones who are supposed to make things beautiful. We are the ones who, add that. The guy goes and builds it, we decorate it. For the interior designers.
I'm gonna say something. I asked. One of the things, I do not like to grocery shop. I can't stand it. Just, I don't like it.
I love grocery shopping.
Oh, I like the thrift shop. I like the thrift shop. I like the regular shop. I like to furniture shop. I like any of that kind of shit, especially antique stores. Love those. But
I
my
love
God
going
likes
to antique stores to look at, like, I daydream about the history.
Yeah, that's amazing to me too. It's like, oh my God, this looked like it was in because my grandparents lived in like an 1800s house.
Okay.
My
grandparents did too. It was like built in like the late 1800s or something. The basement scared the shit out of me though.
That was their house, and then they had a 1800s piano in there that I played when I was young. And so I was like, man, so sometimes I'll look at things like that when I go to the antique stores, and I'm like, my God, I bet that was in the house of a royal or something, because it's just neat to do. But I love that. But my husband loves to grocery shop, and I am so forever fucking grateful.
And that's that balance, that's
because I'm telling you, the truth is, I don't even usually know if we're running out of anything but sugar. I'll ask him, I'm like, well, do we have any more so-and-so? He's like, oh yeah, they're over here in the blah, 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 blah. Got it. I said, oh, okay. And I'm so grateful for that, because that is one of the things I fucking just hate. I cannot stand it. But, one of the things I think about is, even between my two husbands, they both love to shop, like clothes too.
Yeah.
Love it. My first husband, he loved to shop to a fault. He would shop instead of fucking paying the bill, that kind of shit.
That was my first husband.
Now this one is not that way, he likes to shop, but he's gonna pay bills. But it's amazing how, when you look at your life and you see those synchronicities pop up, it's like, okay, it wasn't all bad. There were some good pieces to that first one. Now, would I want him again? Hell no. But but at least you can look at it and say,
I can't even say that about mine. The only thing that on my first husband that I can truly be grateful for him is he gave me my two beautiful kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
That was the purpose of the marriage. And then it ended.
See, that's the thing. But at least you can say that there was something that came out of that.
Yeah, as horrible as everything was, and everything that I look back on and all that type of stuff, like, I can't say I regret it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other piece. I think that's a part of this journey, because before I would say, oh my God, that was the worst thing and blah, 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 or whatever, and then as I started on this journey and this path, I was like, no, I'm gonna treat everything with love.
Even my childhood, it's the same, aspect of it, of no child should grow up how I grew up. No child should grow up or endure anything that I have. But I do have thanks for it. I give thanks because it has put me on the spiritual path. It has put me on to, and that I know that my purpose, that my soul speaks to me, and my mission is to help other people step into that light. My purpose is to help people, to guide them to that awareness.
Yes.
And so
I love that.
I can't have that without going through what I've been.
Right.
I speak from personal experience. So it's not like I'm just out here and just like, oh yeah, I read a psychology book or, this type of thing or anything. No, I've lived it.
I do that. I've been there, done that.
Been there, done. Oh yeah. Oh, I can relate to you. Oh, yep. Yeah. I did that. Yeah. Like I drank my teens and my 20s away, and yep. Like
sure did.
I relate to you on so many levels, and unfortunately of how many bad things that I've been through. But now I love every part of me. I love every part of who that is, because it is my bigger picture. It's the bigger mission.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh my God. Okay. So we're gonna wrap up.
You and I we can just go.
I was sitting there thinking, I was like,
let us know, like if you're getting, and reach out to us. Tammi and I both offer services. I do have a new, I am now a TFT, EFT certified practitioner.
What the world is that?
Well, EFT, energy focused.
Yeah. But what's a TF?
Well, so apparently, I through my certification found it. So EFT came from TFT.
Oh,
So it is thought focused therapy or tapping onto it. And it actually uses more meridian points. It doesn't just focus onto the head and then with the collarbone and with your arm. It actually goes into your hands. And it goes
that's really
into
good.
all the meridian points. And it's more of a sequence based. And you scale it more. But it's for actual deeper trauma. That you want to open up and you want to wake up. So I'm actually going to focus more on the TFT because of the fact that there are more techniques that you can learn within the tapping post of just being randomly kind of talking. It's more of a thought process of moving and opening up onto it. So if you're interested, DM me. I'm taking on clients.
That is awesome. I'm so excited about that.
I am too, because, and it even flows more into, with my Reiki, because it's the energy, it's the moving of it all, but it goes into also, I'm a chakra healer. I use the crystals, I do sound therapy, but it's really doing that meridian. It's really focusing on that core and move in that stagnant energy. It's really, so I kind of feel like it's kind of brought everything. I felt together. Like there's been something missing. And now that I've completed this, like, I kind of feel like that was maybe the missing piece for me, because it kind of it brings it all, the whole body and embodiment together of.
Yes, I was going to say that. I was like, that sounds like the cherry on the top.
It does. Like, I feel so much more confident, to be truthful too.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
And then, the focus on the hands, the stuff, the reason, the resets, and stuff like that. Like, there is actually with TFT, there's actually called one of the tapping methods is actually called a psychological reverse.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
You can instantly go in just with your hand and reverse the negative thoughts with it, because you don't realize, but like, here is 2 different meridian points. Here's a meridian point, but you have meridian points on all your fingernails, on both of them, and different things like that. It was really,
fascinating.
Really a lightning course.
It sounds fascinating.
Yeah,
I'm super excited about it. I have just decided that I want to do some one-to-one deep healing work.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do, and that is what I've decided, because so many people need that, and so many people, are ready. Yep. People are like, I was looking and I was like, people that are like at their abundance point, they might have, hit the glass ceiling and busted through it or whatever, and they've done all these things, but they feel like something is missing. Yeah. And so that was what I was thinking about the other night, and I was like, I could really do that. Because I was like, I really want to do like high level one-to-one, healing with
I'm
people,
going to be starting
so that
to
they
offer
can
my one-on-one 3-month program.
Yes.
Off.
I was actually thinking 8 weeks to Limitless, because I want people to have that place. And I don't really want to do, I thought about a group, but I'm thinking now I really rather just do the one-to-one or do a hybrid, because you can work with people easier that way. Yeah. And then I think people get greater transitions, even though you do get a lot of transitions when you work in a group. Yeah. But, we've all done group programs, and, we've all gotten a lot out of them and all that kind of stuff. But I just feel like the one-to-one container, because you have the high touch.
I think it's accountability too.
I was going to say, and access.
Of whether or not, it's great to be open to information. It's great. And you have to, that's part of the journey is, being open, but are you truly receiving the information, and are you applying the information?
Well, see, that's the next piece. It's like, you can receive information all day. We all do. Yeah. I've studied so much shit. Now I'm almost at this point where I'm studying out a little bit. I'm studying all the things I already have here, but I'm not doing any more courses right now. I'm like, I have to focus on what the fuck I'm doing now, and, do that. And, and I'm just not doing it.
I got one more that I'm doing, but it goes in to, like, with everything that I'm doing, because like, you've heard of flexology.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's combining, and that's kind of what I kind of feel like everything that, like, I have been called to study, and it's kind of on flexology, but the next is the hand mantras.
Okay.
Because of the fact that, with every pinpoint, and which again, it goes into the meridians and stuff. But when you're meditating and stuff like that, what are you calling in? What organs are you cleansing and stuff like that? So it's studying the meridians of the hands of activations of on this. So that's been like my next of which I do think is gonna like really.
Well, when you're ready for a practice partner, you can. I'll be your huckleberry.
We got that. But that's been interesting, and I kind of like feel like really called to, because the fact is, and it's been kind of weird, and my kids used to call me out on, but like I'll sit there and like I will do like all these like weird things like with my hands, like I'll just be sitting there, doing it. So
you already did this in a past life.
I did it, yeah, and it just done it naturally, and I pick it up very quickly on the information, and then I see like quickly the transition within my own self, in my own body. So I know it works.
Yeah, this is not your first rodeo. You've been a healer for a few, let me look at you right now. I would say at least 4 to 5 lifetimes you've been a healer. So this is not your first rodeo. And that's why so much of this stuff just is coming back to you even as you study.
Yeah, it's just all the energy. It's all the basic, it's that chakra, and it's just it's opening up those. How do we explore those? How do we? This week I've been studying really the combination of faith, love, and sex.
Oh yes, yes.
But and again, people like I mentioned it today at my job today on that, and like, they were like, "Oh, sex," and I'm like, "Not sex," like dirty mind. All right. But it's, that sacral energy, because of the fact that you have to form that creative energy.
Yeah.
Out of love, to have faith, to focus. Yes. So it's pulling that up to make that third eye shine.
Yes. Oh, that's powerful. All right. Well, ladies, gentlemen, other people, whoever is watching, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been our pleasure, and this conversation is been so full, don't you think?
Very full. And I hope maybe you sit down with it, a notebook, go back and rewatch it, because that's the one thing that Tammi and I think have both. We set the intention of when we started this, is that you hear a lot of different things, and I think it gets overwhelming of when you hear some other people, but some of it is just so simple.
Yes.
Take the time. And so I hope that you're hearing us into that, of that, it's a lot of self-reflection. It's a lot of just self.
Yes.
Into it. And like, I hope that we're making it show or be easy that you can do it. And you don't need to, go join, a Buddhist monk, or, to be, like spiritual onto it, in your living room, in your bedroom, start off 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Yeah, we probably do it way too much a day, but that's our calling.
It's what we have to do.
It's what we have
but
to do.
It's amazing when you think about that as you go along. Just like she said, I mean, so many gems were dropped here today. So if you take your time and write it down, get your notebook, or do like I do, put it in your notes on your phone and make you a folder. And just take some notes so that we can help, because our heart is really where we want to help people to avoid some of those pitfalls that we have encountered on this journey, and help them actually just to walk with spirit, and know that it can be done. And not only that it's a beautiful journey. It's beautiful, because so many people make it so hard. And that's one of the things that I'm really here for, because I know for myself, I used to love to make shit hard, and that would like give me the license to say, oh, I'm not going to do that because it's just too hard and it's too much, And so I've learned that, and I've learned that, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. I actually saw a post that said that just now.
We didn't want it to be hard. With our own choices, our own darkness of not being aware, we make it hard.
Yes. So it's not, it's not meant to be hard, and it can be easy. And the other thing is too, we want to make sure that we are disseminating information that is usable, that you can use,
practical.
that you can take, and exactly practical, that you can take and run with, and you can actually start living your life, and so that's one of the things. I know we set our intention for that, because it's like, I know for me, I was running around listening to YouTube people and, trying to find somebody that was saying something that made some damn sense to me.
But see, I didn't understand a lot of it. And so like, it pushed me off too, because they were using like all these words and it didn't resonate with me. It didn't. So I was like, oh, this is useless. This is useless. Where it's like, if someone like you and I of sitting here, which is funny because now I am surrounded by people who are like you and I, and like we're very real onto this, but it took getting through some of that stuff to get now to where we are. And now this is intention. Tammi and I put this out there, we connected, and we were like, we just want to make it, you can do it. Yeah. And we're here to support you.
Yes, absolutely. And it's like, I know a lot of times people are intimidated when they see people out here talking, especially on this Facebook. I have had that experience a few times. I met some people in person and they were like, I know you. And I looked at them and I said, Facebook. I said, you probably seen my live on Facebook, because I've been doing lives on Facebook probably for the last, 5 years or something, and I said, because I prefer to do a live as opposed to doing a post.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, so you probably see me there. And one girl, she went on her phone and pulled me up. She goes, yeah, I was just watching you yesterday. And I was like,
and it made you feel good.
Cool. Yeah, I was like, cool. And I said, well, did you get some value out of it? She was like, girl, she was like, you don't know. She was like, that one. She goes, and I watched this other video. She goes, you changed my life. I was like, well, that's why I'm here. Yeah. That's what the point is. That's the point. Changing lives.
Changing lives for the better.
Yes.
It's simple and easy. That was a drawback for me on some of it is, my throat chakra growing up, it was always suppressed. And so it's like you get out some of these people and they like speak so elegantly, and I'm like, that's not me. I'm like,
no, you just got to be you.
And yeah, and I've just come to accept that. But the fact of the matter is how I do present the information.
Yes,
that is going to attract those people who speaks to their soul onto that real level. And I'm okay with that. I'm, no longer trying to follow those footsteps, because that's not my path.
Well, I say that Sister Beyonce said it best. You won't break my soul.
But I hope I level yours up.
Right? I'm going to help you. But you don't break my soul. All right. So this has been great. And of course, we still did an hour.
Of course. Hey, at least it's not 2, 3.
I was going to say, but it's okay because it's still early for you.
It is. It's only 9:06.
I know last time it was like super late. I was like,
midnight.
I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, we've been on here all this long time. She got to go to bed. She got to work in the morning. But yeah, it's amazing. And this time is awesome. So anyway, if you are wanting to reach out to either one of us or both of us, reach out to us and let us know what you thought about the show. You can comment below as well. We will come back and also, welcome you and thank you for watching and all that kind of good stuff. But make sure that you are following us.
Yeah.
And we will continue to do this show as long as we can. And this has been Ebony and Ivory on Spiritual Growth. So we will be back again next Wednesday. I am so excited.
I always look forward to it.
Yeah, Wednesday. I think it's a Wednesday. Okay. But yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We're signing out. Bye.
Bye.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah, Talking with Tammi.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us, listening to Straight Outta Savannah. This is Tammi Morrison, and my business Unleashing Your True Self can help you to move forward in your life, You see, I'm an intuitive healer, and I help people to shift their limiting beliefs so that they can become limitless. Join me in my masterclass on July 18th through the 20th, Discovering You. It's at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I would love to see you there. We're going to cover chakras. We're going to cover sacred archetypes. We're going to cover spiritual gifts. We're going to cover affirmations and anything that relates to spiritual awakening. So if that is you and you are in that space, join me July 18th through the 20th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much. Bye.